side note, I just got this like fun little galaxy light, but it's set on a setting where it keeps like coming and going, and I don't know how to make it just stay. So hopefully that's not too distracting. Hopefully it's not distracting. Alright, so this video has been a long time coming because we moved. So like we're in a whole new neighborhood. So I haven't even spilled any of the neighborhood tea yet from this neighborhood. My husband and I bought our first ever townhome. First ever place. You know, we always rented before. I have some other rambles about that story time, but you can go back and watch those if you want. But we loved like where we were renting, and we had been there for 3 years, but then the landlords gave us a 40-day notice that we had to move. So it was like a whole thing, but we had wanted to eventually buy something that was like a goal, but we thought it was more long term. But then when we started to kind of look at our situation and crunch the numbers and talk to like different loan officers and stuff, we decided to do it instead of waiting. So we bought a townhome, and it's like in one of those townhome communities where they're like all connected, and it's like a big U, so all the units are just like connected in a big U, and obviously everyone has like their own front door, and like the units are kind of like long and skinny and tall. So we have 3 floors, and yeah, so you know what I mean, they're like skinny and tall, like all next to each other, just to like start to paint the picture a little bit. And it's been great. We're so grateful and like feel so lucky and just like very grateful that we were able to do this and yeah, buy a place. We're very proud of ourselves, blah blah blah. It's also been like just a really great space for us. It's a little bit bigger than what we used to rent, which is perfect because I work from home full time. My husband works hybrid from home and in the office, and we love to like have guests, and we have a big dog, and down the line we are probably gonna want a kid like eventually. So it's been really nice having the extra space because now we have like a dedicated office, a dedicated guest room, and we have this whole basement. So that's where I film now because it's like quieter. But it needs some work on the aesthetics. Peep the scary fluorescent light and the plain walls and whatever. Like the basement is the last place that we're gonna like decorate or make look cute. But we've been very like loving it, especially inside our townhome. We love every unit has a front and a back area that's fenced in, so like everyone has a little front area that you own as well as a back area that you own. So like we have a backyard and a front space, but they're really really small. Like it's not even big enough for our dog to like run. It's like very small, but better than nothing. We just needed some sort of outdoor space for him. Anyways, so we have this backyard area that everyone has a fence, so like you can't like see in other yards unless you're like looking through the cracks. Which kind of leads me to my first story, which is that 2 doors down, there's this family. This first part is actually really sad and like not funny. But like the other day they got in like a screaming match outside, and I was home because I'm home every day, and I was like, what is going on? And like, because I could hear it like anywhere in my townhome, anywhere in our home, I could hear it. So then I like looked through the window, and the people who live 2 doors down, it's a large family that lives in this townhome. There's like 8 of them, and it's like multi-generational. There's all different ages, and they were getting in this huge scream blowout fight outside, and it was just like really sad and like hard to watch because obviously no like toddlers who were just like running around during it. Like you could tell they were like confused. And then there's like teenage boys, and then the parents, and then a grandma, and it, whatever. I don't need to like give details, but it was intense, and it lasted for like a really long time. And at one point, like there was some pushing involved, and I was like, okay, I really hope this doesn't become like violent. So that was kind of like, whoa. But besides that, like, I'm not judging that. I just, obviously it's like sad. Like, family fights are not fun. Family drama is not fun. And I can't imagine living with 8 people in one space. Like, that would not be easy for any of them. I would say especially like the teenagers, like that would be really hard. Like I grew up in a house of anywhere from 5 to 7 people at a time, and even then, like we were always like going at it, like me and my siblings. So anyways, I empathize for that, and I was just like, okay, that was crazy. But minus that, which I gotta be honest, I'm glad we're not right next to them, because if I had to share a wall and listen to like family feuds and family fighting, like that gives me a lot of anxiety. So I'm like selfishly really glad that we're not right next to them. They're like 2 doors down, and the people on either side of us are great. They're super nice, quiet, and we're really like nice and quiet too. So I feel like I'm just glad that no one that we share a wall with is like super loud or outrageous, because I have a lot of sleep like issues, hence the ASMR. Which brings me to my next point, or a little piece of gossip, which is that same family, the dad of the family, comes home almost every night at 11:30 or midnight, blasting music. Blasting it. It's not just like, oh, he has his music up. He is like blasting it as loud as it can go with like his windows down, and he drives into the townhome community like that at 11:30 or midnight, and it wakes me up. And like I have a lot of sleep issues and sleep anxiety and like trouble falling and staying asleep. Again, like that's why I watch ASMR. So it's like, it really like upsets me, because I'm like, that is so rude. Like, I don't care how loud music is during the day. I literally could not care less. I am not like a Karen. I'm not like, I don't care, but that late at night is so rude. And like I explained, there's a lot of people in this townhome community, so if you're blasting music, it's probably waking a ton of people up, not just me. But like I don't want to say anything because I don't want them to like hate me, and I don't want to sound like a Karen or be like, I don't know, I don't want to like make him mad to where he's like, screw you, I'm gonna do it even louder now, because like I don't know this person, I don't know his personality. So that is like really unfortunate. It's happened a few times where it literally wakes me and my husband up, but my husband is a really light or a really heavy sleeper, and he can sleep easily. So for him, he's like, yeah, that's annoying, but then he falls right back asleep. Meanwhile, I'm like sitting up, like wired after I wake up. So that sucks, but I feel like there's nothing I can do, because I don't want to like say something. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. We're all adults here. Like, I don't want to be like telling someone what to do. It's just, I don't know. I wish that he just like wouldn't do it and would have some common courtesy. Technically, we do, because we have an HOA, technically we do have quiet hours from like 10 p.m. to like 9 a.m. or something like that. But again, like I don't want to tell on him. Like, it's so bizarre. He also lives right next to the head of the HOA. So I'm kind of like, I feel like she needs to like say something, honestly. And then last note about this family is that the grandma is a massive chain smoker, which again, not my life, I don't care. However, how I describe the backyards, we're 2 backyards down from her, so when we first moved in, it was the springtime, and we were like, oh, let's open all the windows, let's let some fresh air in, you we live in Colorado, it's like beautiful weather. And then we started to notice that our whole house was smelling like cigs. And then we realized that it's because this grandma 2 doors down is a chain smoker and smokes cigarettes literally all day. So it really sucks because we can't even like open all our windows and doors and like have it be breezy and whatever, because it's like so much cigarette smell. And like, no offense if you're a smoker, but you should not take offense to this. No one who's not a smoker wants to smell cigarette smoke. Like, let's be honest, that's nasty. I grew up, when I was little, my dad smoked in the house and in the car. And he stopped once I was like a little, like in high school. But anyways, I grew up with that. And then my husband is an ex-smoker. Like, he smoked for 10 years and then quit, and it's like a really big deal for him. So obviously it's like really triggering to be like smelling cigarette smoke in our house. So that sucks. Like, but that's like the type of thing where it's like you can't control other people. Like, what are we gonna do? Literally nothing. Like, you can't stop your neighbor from being a cigarette smoker, you know what I mean? It's just like unfortunate because like the place that we rented had like a lot of natural light and a lot of windows, and now this place, we're like in the middle, so we don't have side windows, we only have like end windows. So it's like been an adjustment of like feeling less, like we get less sun and stuff like that. So we just like, we want to be able to like have everything open so that it just feels more like breezy and open, you know? So that's unfortunate, but that's, again, like, you could have a neighbor anywhere that could do that. Like, even if we lived in a single family home, it could be the same thing where the next door neighbor is a chain smoker and the smoke always comes into our yard. Like, there's no way to control or stop that. It's just one of those like random things. But yeah. Oh, one more thing about this family. The grandma specifically, she'll like grill sometimes. And I shit you not, first of all, she or they all, I don't know, for sure her, because she's outside all the time, she litters a lot. Like, behind all of our back fences, there's like a ton of grass, and it's like a common area, but like we take our dog back there to go potty, and like we walk back there, like everyone uses it, you know? Well, I've noticed that outside their fence door, there's like trash sometimes, which I'm like, okay, maybe it blew in from the street, like maybe it's not them. But then there was this one day where they must have had like a little birthday party or something, because literally outside of their back door there was all these water balloon plastics, like party supplies, popped balloons, streamers, just strewn about the common area grass. Like, our fences like close, so like there's a door that leads to this grassy area. It's not like the trash was like in their area, it was like in the common area. And me and my husband were like, okay, that's not cool. So that was one day, and then a few days later we walked by and that stuff was like eventually gone. Like, I don't know if they picked it up or if it just blew away. I don't know what happened to it. I guess we could have picked it up, but then we walked by and we could smell like that she had been grilling that day, and there were just like sausages and food thrown over their fence. Like, someone in the family was literally like just throwing and littering food and like grilled sausages into the common area grass. It was nasty, and our dog like tried to eat one, and that's how we noticed it, and we had to be like, no, and pull him away. And then we looked and we're like, there's literally grilled meats that they're like throwing, just littering. And we were like, literally what? So again, I'm not like, I don't wish them any ill will, I don't dislike them, I don't even know them. It's just like, oh well, you can't stop them. The littering thing is pretty bad, but the music is what really gets me because of my sleep issues. I will say the person right next to us on one side gets up at like 4 a.m. and she's really loud. So sometimes she wakes me up in the morning because she like gets out of bed really loud, like closes drawers really loud. Like I can hear her getting ready, and it's always like 4 a.m. so she must work like really early, or it's like 4:30, something in there. So I'm like, oh my god, the one neighbor is waking me up at midnight and the other neighbor is waking me up at like 4:30, and I have sleep issues. Like, this was my fear of being in a townhome and being in like a connected building. That was like my biggest fear, was like issues sleeping. So I'm hoping that they like resolve, or they get better, or that I get used to it, because like I used to live in Chicago, in the city, and like if you've lived in a major city, it is loud. There's ambulances, like there's stuff all night, and we lived right next to the L, like the train in Chicago, in one of my apartments, like literally right next to it. And if you've ever been in Chicago and heard how loud the L is, you understand. So like now I've been living in the burbs for like 3.5 years, so I'm just like not used to it anymore. So hopefully I just like start to get used to it. Yeah, so those are those things. What else? Oh, so in the townhome community we have like a couple dumpsters, and they're like in these like wooden structures to like make them look better, you know? So there's not just like dumpsters just like in our neighborhood. Yeah, it's like these wooden sheds almost, and then you have to like open the latch and open the big door, and there's dumpsters inside, and that's where you put your trash. And there is very specifically no dumping and no oversized items, because if you do that, then everyone in the community gets charged, because the trash company charges the HOA for like extra stuff. People keep putting oversized items and like junk outside the dumpsters, and me and my husband are like we're a little neurotic when it comes to like cleanliness type of stuff. Like trash, like the guy that in our rental, someone lived in the basement below us, and he was so stupid with trash and recycling. He would never break anything down. He would put like greasy pizza boxes in the recycling, which you cannot do. He would put like trash in the recycling, and then he would not break things down and put them in the trash, so then we couldn't fit anything. And like that started to really piss us off, because we were like, dude, we have to share these. Be an adult. Like, he was like, I don't know, in his young 20s or something, and I was just like, you're annoying. So we're already kind of jaded from that, because it was just like annoying to have to deal with. And now we're like, oh my god, not only is it just like disrespectful and makes our whole community look bad when there's like dirty mattresses and like broken down like dressers and like huge pieces of junk and trash that people are just leaving out like next to the thing on the curb. It like looks bad and makes it feel junky, but also we get charged, because then they have to prorate it and everyone gets charged. So now in the most recent like HOA letter, they were saying to please report if you see who's like doing it. So they're like asking people to like be tattletales, but I've never even seen anyone do it. Also, it could be people that don't live here. It could be people coming from outside and dumping. My husband mentioned that, and I was like, oh, that's true. So yeah, that's the only other like annoying thing, is just that like it's nasty when there's like big stained mattresses like laying outside our house. Like, yeah. What else? Oh, I guess my only other two complaints are that we kind of feel duped, because our community has a pool. which I don't know if this would have changed anything, but like the pool hasn't been operational in a few years, and then this year they finally found the money for it, and they hired this contractor, and the pool was open for literally like 2 days, and then it went out again, and now it's been closed, and it's closed all summer. And they are like blaming the contractor, saying that like, I don't know, they weren't good, or they weren't like doing the job or something, and they're like having a ton of trouble finding someone to like take care of the pool, which is so weird to me, because aren't there a ton of people that do that? How could it be that hard to find someone to like take care of the pool and make a few like improvements? Because apparently there's some things that are broken that need to be like fixed. So that's annoying, because it's like one of our amenities, and we only have that and a tennis court, and that's it. And so, I mean, that does matter to us, because like we're paying a lot for our HOA, and then like down the line for resale, like we want the amenities to be like working. So that really sucked, because we were like really excited for the pool, because it gets really hot in Colorado in the summer. And so we were like really looking forward to it, and we just felt like duped, because we didn't know it was broken, and now they're like having so much trouble fixing it. And then the tennis court, the one tennis court, has so many cracks throughout the whole thing that so many weeds are coming through that you literally, it's uninhabitable. You cannot play tennis on it. The ball wouldn't bounce, and or you would break your ankle. And that also makes me really sad, because I was really excited for the tennis court. Like, I was talking with my one friend about how we were gonna like play tennis and like use our tennis court and stuff. And even me and my husband were like saying how we would use it. So I'm like, okay, so the two amenities that our community has, both of them don't work. So that really sucks, because yeah, we just feel duped, and we're also paying a lot like for the HOA, and it's just kind of like, you know, I don't know. So those are, I guess I just kind of went on like a negative rant. I don't want it to sound like I'm not grateful. That's literally all the negatives, like that's it. I really am grateful, and I love this place, and I'm so proud that we were able to buy it, and like I'm really grateful for it. Like, truly, like just the fact that I have this basement now where I can like film, and it's like a cozy, dark, quiet basement. Like eventually we're gonna like try to get like a used sectional or something to put down here, and then like have a projector or something down here and make it like a cozy movie space. And like the fact that we have a guest room and an office now in addition to our room, we just feel very grateful. And we finally have, it's 1.5 baths, so we only have 1 shower, but we have 2 toilets, which if you have ever lived with someone, you know that's a game changer. After living together for 4 years with 1 toilet, we finally have another one. There's so many positive, amazing things about this. So I just want to say that, so that it doesn't sound like I'm just complaining. We love the location, like the suburb and the area we live in, we love, and yeah. What else? Oh, okay, one last thing for this session of neighborhood gossip. There's this couple that lives in our community, like on the other side, who's like our age, and we talked to her once because we went to our first HOA meeting, but now we've literally been traveling for every other one, so we haven't gone again, but we want to go to the next one anyways. She was there too, so we started talking and realized like, oh, we all just kind of moved in, and like we're a similar age, and we kind of like, we like got along, and they have a dog too, but then neither of us like got each other's number. But she like made a comment, we were like, oh, we should all get together, and she was like, yeah, that'd be like, we should do a game night, like she mentioned that, and we were like, yeah, but then we didn't get each other's numbers, so now we haven't talked since. And that was like were all interested in like trying to maybe become friends, but now there's like no way to pursue it. So I said to my husband, like, would it be weird if I left a note at their front door with my number and was like, hey, like, we never exchanged numbers, but like we should hang out sometime? And he was like, that's so weird. He thought that would be so weird. But I'm like, how else are we ever gonna get in contact with them? Like, I know no one really does that anymore nowadays, but like back in the day, I feel like it was normal to just like show up to someone's door or like leave a note. So I want your opinion, if you're still listening, if you think that that would be weird or not. I don't think it would be weird because she also seemed like she wanted to hang out, but now no one has like made a move, or like we don't really have a way to. So I don't know what to do about that. I think I might just honestly leave a note and hopefully we'll laugh about it later, because like it would be so nice to like make another friend and to have friends in our literal neighborhood. Like we're like 30 seconds from them, like in this townhome community, so it'd be so fun to like have friends that live in our community, and if their dog is friendly, then maybe our dogs could be friends, and like it would just be so fun. If you ever used to watch any of my old rambles in our old rental, there was this couple that had this golden retriever in their yard, and my dog was obsessed with their dog, but they were never outside. It was always just their dog, and I always wanted to like become friends with them, but I like chickened out and never did it. And so I don't want this to be a repeat of that. I need to like get some courage and just do it. So yeah. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed that bit of neighborhood gossip. Gossip. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again